I really have mixed feelings about episode 9 of Gundam The Witch from Mercury. Don't get me wrong, it was overall still a fun episode with a lot of interesting bits. There are just some things I don't like about it, and we're gonna talk about that in this video. Please like and subscribe if you find my content informative or entertaining. It really helps the channel out. So onto the video, let's start with the episode's biggest development, Ariel's new form, new blue form, which is similar to the blue glow that Eri had back in Prologue. So some of you are wondering if I think this is plot armor. Well, I think it kind of is, but it's not the worst case of plot armor. Ariel is a very mysterious mobile suit and thus is filled with some mystery plot devices that Okuchi can just use to move the plot forward. And I mean, this is Gundam, so I'm not purely against it. I mean, we've seen stuff like Trans Am in the past, so. Though the fact that the plot armor didn't fully work in the end, and that it was Chuchu who saved the day, balanced things out, we'll talk more about that later. And yes, this quote-unquote plot armor is justified, kind of, because, well, it's logical for Elnora to develop a technology after the events of Prologue, you know, to prevent that loss from happening again. This new technology would be the solution to that. However, what I find weird is that these surprise features that Ariel has, they just keep coming up. In Ariel's battle with Elan, we saw Ariel activate this anti-gun format technology, and then now this new technology comes up. So yeah, I just find the frequency of Ariel showing us something new to be a little too much. Like, it's funny because the pacing of the story is overall quite slow. We're on episode 9, but we're still in the character introductory phase of the show. In the recent arc, we got to know Shadiq, who is supposedly one of the main characters. And yeah, we're almost nearing half of the show. And despite that slow pacing, Ariel's development seems to be rather fast. I mean, lore-wise, Ariel's development feels logical, but in terms of overall plot progression, I think Ariel's development is a little too fast. But yeah, that's just me. I understand a lot of people would have a different opinion about that. The one thing we still don't know from this episode is the major direct consequence of Earthhouse's victory. Unlike her victories in the past episodes, which actually had direct consequences, like the first time she beat Ghoul, it made the school grow suspicious of her. She won that battle, but there was a consequence to balance things out. And we can say the same for her battle with Elan. I mean, when she beat Elan, when she won against Elan, what happened next? Elan actually died, or well, got incinerated. But here, there doesn't seem to be a direct consequence yet. Maybe there will be in the next episode. Like, I imagine other companies would actually start to gain interest in Ariel, and maybe that's the consequence. Maybe more parties will try to attack Gundam Company because of Ariel's exposure. And I mean, the more exposure you get, the more haters you can have too. But yeah, I do agree that seeing Suletta win all the time consecutively is tiring. But knowing Ichiro Okuchi, I think he's gonna crush Suletta at one point. It's only a matter of time, you know? Hopefully by episode 12 that happens. I would imagine it would be in an event where Prospera would reveal all these secrets to Suletta and just break Suletta's character, break her soul, break her mind, and she's gonna have to rise up after that. That's what I predict, at least. And speaking of Prospera, let's talk about her tier. There are many different ways people are interpreting her tier. Some people are saying it's a tear of joy. Some people are saying it's a tear because she remembered what happened to Nadim. Some people are saying she cried because, well, seeing the blue glow made her remember Eri, who a lot of people are theorizing is now the core of Ariel. So in a way, you could say that this scene kind of supports the Ariel theory, in a way. Personally, I see Prospera's tear as a symbol of some cognitive dissonance she might have. She's happy to see her invention actually work, but at the same time, she may feel some guilt because she may have sacrificed something to make that technology. And now let's talk about what's gonna happen to Ghoul, which is actually quite interesting. Ghoul got a call from his father saying that Ghoul now has a new position at the subsidiary of Jetter Company. Now, here's my prediction. I think that this subsidiary is something that Vim would use to experiment on gun technology. And Ghoul might be like a test subject or like a lab rat or a test pilot for whatever project that is. And when that happens, he's probably gonna wear a mask. It's very possible. However, I'm not sure if I want that to happen. I have mixed feelings about it. Okay, now let's talk about a topic that I've actually been arguing about a lot. This is about Choo-Choo's winning shot against Michaelis. Now, I find it weird because right after Choo-Choo made that shot, you'll see that all of the other pilots vacated their mobile suits. Only Suletta and Choo-Choo were the Earth House members who were in their mobile suits at that time. I mean, this is a 6v6. Choo-Choo and Suletta make 2 people, and as you can see, there are 4 people outside of their mobile suits, outside of the Zowards. And I think it would have been more logical if the Zowards actually had pilots in them, because Choo-Choo would have to precisely move her sniper rifle, and I think that she's gonna have a hard time doing that with just one hand. And if the Zowards don't have pilots in them, the Zowards' arms won't really move, like they're just there. And she's gonna need a moving Zoward arm to help her move her gun, especially if she's gonna make a shot that precise. And I think it's unlikely that she targeted her gun at that specific point and just waited for Shadiq to get there. Like, I think that's actually kind of impossible. That would be a little too convenient, and Ichiro Okuchi is known to sometimes overuse convenience in some of his past shows. Like, he did that quite a lot in Code Geass. And yeah, I get it, some of you might think I'm being nitpicky about this, but come on, this is like a real robot. I still want things to make sense as much as possible, but you don't have to agree with me if you don't want to. That's fine. And lastly, let's talk about love. I personally think that Shadiq and Miorine are the show's most interesting couple. Because, well, they obviously go way back, and there are probably many layers on top of their seemingly deep relationship. Basically, we can see that Shadiq really does have feelings for Miorine, and he's probably had those feelings for a very long time. However, he's also a businessman, and business got in the way, sadly. He tried to have both Miorine and the business. He wanted to win in both love and business, but in the end of the day, sometimes you can't have everything. He had some sort of cognitive dissonance, I guess, and it resulted in him trying to meet halfway, trying to get both the girl and the business, but it just didn't work. I honestly think that Shadiq still has a chance, but he's gonna have to do something big. He's gonna have to do something really selfless that will benefit Mio Mio. Like maybe he'd quit his company and join Mio Mio, or maybe he'd sacrifice something to help Mio Mio get to Earth. That's also possible. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna do something. He's gonna try to do something big in one of the future episodes. And that's it for the video. I was actually very hesitant on making this video because, well, it just feels like a follow-up to the previous episodes. But yeah, there's still something to talk about, I guess. Some interesting things. And yeah, that's it. You all have a nice day.